Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the North American ESL Pro League. The last night of matches here for week number 1 is going to be starting in just a few moments, and we've got some excellent games free this evening. 2 best of ones to start off the night between Cloud9 and CLG. My name is Blue. Joining me here this evening is Moses, and before we get started with our first map, let's talk a little bit about these two teams.
This is some sick stuff all night long. It's like the top 4 teams that you would expect coming into the season with all the question marks, these are kind of the teams on paper that you would have said are the top 4. So pretty nutty stuff. But this is kind of the big one. It's Cloud9 versus CLG. They both with that one roster change, CLG with Fugly, Cloud9 with Stewie, so it's kind of like an early battle of where these guys are at after this roster change. So gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we already saw an event last weekend, I believe it was, where these two teams did get a chance to play off against some of the bigger European ones. Obviously, it's an event that some people may have missed since it wasn't on Twitch, but we had the game show finals, and both of the teams, CLG actually I think ended up getting pretty far in the event, whereas Cloud9 ended up bowing out a little bit earlier. But I guess I think you talked a little about this on Pop Flash, but taking a look at their performances from that event, how do you think the two new players from each team ended up doing?
I mean, they did fine for their first event showing. CLG played Envy like 8 times or something in that event, so that was pretty sick. That was a little bit unfortunate they had to play him so much, but yeah, it was all right. I still think that Stewie or Fugly was the better overall pickup, and I think long term that's going to work out better for CLG than Stewie with Cloud9. But either way, it'll just be interesting to see how they progress throughout the season, for sure. And then what's the second map tonight? There's Cbble obviously is the first one.
Overpass.
And Overpass is the next one. So actually those are 2 pretty decent maps for these 2 teams.
Yeah, I think Overpass is going to be a pretty rough one, specifically for Cloud9 when we look at their past history, at least specifically looking at the league season for just a couple months ago. That was actually the map where we saw quite a few upsets. I think it was Optic, who at the time wasn't as well renowned in North America, and I think Enemy managed to beat them on that map too. So I'm not sure if they've sorted out the issues now with bringing in a new player for it, but that's been a pretty weak spot for them in the past, at least in online matchups.
Yeah, well, I mean, online matchups are always a little gimmicky, but overall, I mean, this is I'm just really excited to see what's going to happen here. You got to talk about JDM as an opper, really coming into his own. Skadoodle, who had like a really rough close to 2015, starting out 2016 pretty well. He looked good. So did Shroud. Both of them looked good at game show, at least in my mind. So good to see them start the year off on such a good note when they ended so poorly last season in a little bit of a slump. So that'll be a big challenge. But the question is always going to be with Cloud9 right now. The leadership, the tactics of this team. How are they going to look on their T sides? Are they going to be disorganized? Are they going to look like they're coming in prepared? Just because we know that missing Sean is I think obviously it's a big problem for them early on in this lifespan.
Yeah, and looking again at that most recent LAN last weekend, once we got into the bigger matches, I was actually pretty surprised to see the way that the stats sort of shifted when we look at the individual players. When they played against, I think it was the new G2, along with Envy there, some of the bigger teams in Europe, it made me look like Freakazoid and Nothing kind of dropped the ball a little bit in those matchups. So I'm curious to see how that sort of play is going to transition. Obviously not tonight. I don't think it's going to be as big of a factor. These are teams that we sort of associate on the same level as them, so I don't think that their performance is going to be too big of an issue. But when we get into some of those bigger matchups in the future, like possibly coming up at the major qualifiers, that could be a factor that's affecting these guys, especially with some of the new roles they may be taking on.
I'm just hoping for a bloodbath tonight between these 2 teams, to be completely honest with you. I'm really happy the fact that we get Cutler back in full force now that they've got PETA calling, so Cutler can just go back to his normal fragging self, which is always fun for me to watch. Tarek's got to step up still, I think. But I mean, this is going to be. I think both teams are going to play this pretty loose, especially on a map like Cbble. It's going to be. I think there's going to be a really heavy op battle between Skadoodle and JDM. Not so much going head to head, but just how are they used to kind of dictate the pace of the match? How are they going to be used for map control from each team? Pretty tough map for CTs as well.
All right, well, it looks like we're going live now, guys, with the first map. This is a reminder, one more time, these are two separate best of ones. It's not a combined best of two set, whereas if it goes 1-1, it would be considered a tie. If you win one of these maps each, you're each just going to get one victory and the points that come with it for the night, whereas if you take both, well, that's two separate victories, and of course, the losing team will get nothing. However, we are going live with it now in just a moment, after the pistol round victory has gone through, and I think the sides just changed, so CLG is going to start off on the CT side, and Cloud9 will jump onto the T side.
Yep, so Cloud9 starting out with that early advantage of the T side. This is a little bit of a T-sided map. So that bodes well for C9, at least to get things started with. But CLG has started to actually look at this. Hayes has one nade, and he has the kit as well. So no smokes whatsoever, 4 armors. So CLG going to be looking to take a lot of battles. Just a lot of duels, aim fights, and it looks like Cloud9 heavy towards dropping the B bomb site. Stewie's just going to full-blown rush it with a flash, and he actually doesn't catch Fugly on the other side, but he turns in time. Grabs a very nice headshot, so a lot of pressure being put on B, but there's Tarek. One headshot. Oh, a second one, and Hazed as well, and all of a sudden this has turned completely away from Cloud9.
That's so good there from CLG too, managing to turn that back around. Hayes, I think, made a big mistake after he went outside of window. Saw that big rush coming down through drop, but thankfully got the intel out soon enough, and he didn't end up getting picked off by Stewie, who led the charge. So everybody kept themselves calm and composed, and they just completely shut down the rush from C9 after they tried to get control of drop.
Yeah, that was really dirty. Just Tarek just bodies people. 3 kills for him on the pistol round. Nicely done. And that, I mean, that looked like it was just going to collapse as Cloud9 was sort of pinching that B bomb site. It looked like they had the angles and just some very, very nice kills. Just abated the pressure just in time. Good stuff.
So Cloud9 are going to head through the halls now, moving themselves over towards middle, through the connector that follows it here in just a second. But no real investment coming into this round, despite the fact they did not get a plan. It's mainly just P250s. We do see a Deagle sitting on Stewie. But beyond this, it's not just your straightforward play either. They're hanging back. They're going to want to take this a little bit more slowly and a little bit more tactically too, as they hope to maybe pick up 1 to 2 kills before they go for an eventual take on what appears to be the A bomb site.
And no investment of armor whatsoever, though. Just some upgraded P250s, a Deagle in the hands of Stewie. So 1 flashbang. And now the pressure is going to be put on, but JDM's right here, close up with the P90, sprays down 2. There's Cutler as well. JDM gets a 3rd, and it's a slaughter. Rounds over, 2-0 for CLG, and barely any damage taken.
Weren't even able to pick off Cutler, too. Nothing would have had an angle advantage peeking out back over there on long A against Cutler, but he came out too slowly. So by the time he managed to finally wrap around and get himself exposed on the site, everybody that tried to come out through middle was completely dead. So a shutdown from CLG, and they're looking clean to start things off here. 2-0, and it'll be the same story in this round from C9. We do see another Tech 9, so a little bit heavier on the pistols, but as you were mentioning before, there's still no armor investment or anything, so we could expect this round to go pretty much the same way as the previous one.
Yeah, I would say it's going to be pretty similar. This time, though, JDM has all this intel that they're going to be coming on. That's a nice shot from Cutler. JDM as well gets one. So, yeah, another slaughter so far here in the round. Some dinks do go out, but this is great for CLG. They haven't taken any damage, actually. In these first 3 rounds, they've only lost 1 player on the pistol. So they have plenty of economy, and the question becomes, it's almost like CLG has a decision to make here because they have 2 P90s, and I think they're just going to keep them. There's no reason to spend the money to upgrade those.
Also, Cloud9 didn't get a single plant in those first 3 rounds, so that's actually going to leave them with basically 0 money after they buy everything. Skedoodle, thankfully, because they don't really buy anything in the other 2 rounds either, Skedoodle can still get the op with the armor sitting behind it, but that's pretty much it. He's run out of it, doesn't have any utility to support himself. He's going to have to be relying on Freak to help him out if he gets into any tough situations. Yeah,
but look at the early nade damage. Hayes down to 52, Fugly down to 66, so nicely done. That was a Molotov and a nade into drop, and both Hayes and Fugly just catch it with their teeth. Cutler's the only player at the A bomb site at the moment. He's very much alone. Hayes is going to rotate over because Cutler gets forced back from aggression at halls. So a little bit of map control gained over in those A halls by Cloud9. Still very spread out across the map, though, and they're not going to find any CLG players being aggressive whatsoever.
Shroud was trying to sneak up over towards Broken Wall, and just before he looked like he wanted to go for the peak, he does end up getting flashed out, so he's going to fall away. Now grouping up with nothing to go for control of drop. Keep in mind, though, that CLG, they don't actually really have anyone keeping a close eye on this for the time being. It's just players sort of passively sitting away from that area, trying to guard it and prevent anyone from getting themselves outside of this. The actual take from C9, though, is going to be coming on the A bomb site, and right now, similarly to some of the previous rounds, they've only got Cutler here to defend it. They've got Hayes in sort of a rotationary position, but he's going to have to take down nothing before he can do it, and nothing, you can see, He's wiggling around there, trying to test it a little bit, hoping he's going to fire, but it doesn't happen. Now the smoke rolls in, but I'm not actually sure if he spotted nothing as of yet, so that could be a flank to worry about later there. Nonetheless, the take begins. Cutler with a wild peek picks up 2 before he's traded out by Skadoodle. Now the T's moving in, trying to take further control. One getting very close to Hayes here in a second. I don't think he realizes it. Shroud this is going to get surprised. He's shut down. JDM picking up another kill. Now it's all in Skadoodle's hands in a 1 versus 3, and all he can hope to accomplish at this point is going to be the plant, but Hayes too quick on the draw, shuts him down. C9 again, not really going to be able to get much out of this round.
Yeah, that's sloppy. That's CLG just destroys that. Cutler getting 2. Actually, Cloud9 played that really well until the execution came in. They had enough pressure applied to drop to keep Hayes' eyes on it, so it was only Cutler in that 8 bomb site, and he was very exposed. The fact that he gets 2 kills is just terrible by Cloud9. That pretty much ended the round, and then Hayes, yeah, he didn't know Shroud was there, but he saw the shadow at the last second, and then just add insult to injury. JDM upgrades to an AWP for free, picks it up off Skadoodle, so no money spent on that. Now it's a lot of pressure being put into the A bomb site, and actually all the defense has been forced out. So Cutler's going to try and spam through the door. No kills coming in. Stewie just jumps right through, but he does fall. Hayes, meanwhile, made his way to the bomb site. He's going to grab a kill and just make sure this bomb site cannot be lost, although nothing does take him out, down to 5 HP, so decent. They get 2 kills this round, but CLG now with a 5-0 lead and a lot of money built up.
And still not a single plant for Cloud9 so far, and the entire 5 rounds have been played out. So we'll see another investment, and it will be the big one this time, with probably a decent amount of utility sitting behind Skadoodle's own up by. No reason he wouldn't really decide to go for this unless he's not feeling confident or up to the task, but actually, that appears to be the case now. He wants to get a better stack of it, so he goes for the AK instead. And this means we're probably just going to see a pretty direct take, I imagine, over towards the B bomb site.
Yeah, it looks like it. Not even going for map control and actually being pretty aggressive. Tarek's going to be right underneath the platform. And it's going to be Shroud, who's just blocked off from Molotov at the moment. But now the smokes are ringing out from the Terra side. So Shroud's going to be making his move. Molotov comes over for the tree. And they're just going to come right down Broken Wall. It's going to be all on Tarek. He gets that first kill. No one's traded him off just yet. JDM with the cover. Fugly, meanwhile, manning down drop. And this is so quickly just down to Skadoodle. So Cloud9 just getting savaged right now.
And CLG predicted that coming perfectly. They knew that it was going to be pretty heavily leaning on the B site for this round, so all 4 players, or I should say 4 out of 5 of the players from CLG were already stacked there ready to go, and C9, they don't find anything to roll into the site. As soon as the action begins, CLG, they even hold back on the smokes a little bit earlier there too, so they're able to toss those down, deny them from moving out from the drop room there. They don't actually make any progress. Broken Walls get shut down, and it's again going to look like a very, very sloppy round from C9, but now they've got that full losing bonus, regardless of the fact they're getting the plants or not. They're going to be able to invest at least for this round, and finally CLG gets aggressive, and that's what ends up losing them for the first time, I think, their advantage at the beginning of this round. Skadoodle's going to be able to pick off Cutler, brings it down to a 4-on-5.
Yeah, that was a very slow peek by Cutler out, and Skadoodle might have been one of the easier shots, but I was about to say, 6 rounds into this match, and Cloud9 only had 6 kills. Now that one on the Cutler from Skadoodle gives him 7. So you want to talk about, I mean, no matter what strategy you're going to execute, if you're only getting 6 kills in 6 rounds, it's not going to work out very well for you. JDM in the bomb site, he finds the head of Shroud. That's a nice shot. Thins down the defense a little bit. Nothing's lurking out Broken Wall. He finds one onto Tarek, so he's doing some work over here, but it's JDM who's pressured. He gets a second. Now he's got to be wary of the bomb site because Stewie's already made his way in. And actually, Skadoodle with the bomb and an op, he's going to have to come into the site as well. So both players are going to be inside the bomb site when this rotation comes in. Actually just tosses the bomb and gets his perch out towards long. So it's going to be a retake for CLG.
They're going directly where they want them to work it towards right now, though, from CLG. You look at the positions of Skadoodle and Stewie, they're watching exactly where they need to. So this is going to be rough from CLG. Now they move in. Still a lot of utility to be used here, and a decent amount of time left to get this bomb defused as well. So the smoke is going to divide them. The 2 remaining players from C9, however, there's Skadoodle already picking up one of them. He's trying to work a mirror clear as he rolls back in, but that smoke, which he tossed just a moment ago, is now working against him. Can't realize exactly where Skadoodle's moving in from, and as he tries to leap across, Stewie catches the headshot midair, takes him out, and finally, after 6 rounds straight, Cloud9 get themselves on the board.
Yeah, nicely done off the back of that one pick from Skadoodle. So that's good stuff. JDM's 13-1 right now, just couldn't hold on to that bomb site a little bit longer. I doubt CLG is going to get aggressive like that and give Cloud9 an opportunity to find that opening pick. They had so much money built up, though. Look at this. I mean, after a full buy for everyone, it's Hayes is down at 500, but everyone else is sitting at least at 3,800 or above. So still a lot of money, and this time Cloud9 go right back to a B rush, and last time they did this, it got stalled out.
Good flashes initially, though, so they're going to get a lot of control as Cloud9 rush into this bomb site. Also, the rotations are very far away, so this is a good start for the guys on the terrorist side. Fugly's going to pull back, but that Molly's going to connect, and now he's out in the open, too, down to 60 HP. Trying to get a response on the spray, but not really able to connect anything, and now giving Freak even more room to push himself up to that corner there. When Fugly tries to come back outside of the drop room, it's going to get very, very messy. However, peaks it early, and the damage does end up getting traded back. Unfortunately for the remaining members of CLG, though, Cloud9 just has such solid control. This retake is going to be very, very hard to accomplish. And you've also got Stewie rotating back around over on top of drop, so he can surprise these players again. However, the counter boost from Hayes, he's going to roll. And then there's Skadoodle with the double, though. Fugly and JDM both go down to this one. Nothing picking up the kill on a Cutler. And just like that, the defense has been completely obliterated. It's just down to Hayes, and he'll be falling away to save his rifle.
Yeah, I actually thought that was going to be a save when it was in that 4 and 5 scenario for CLG, but they go for it and just get crushed on the retake. So second round for Cloud9. CLG going to have to spend more money. They have plenty of it to have a full buy into this round, but they're going to start getting very depleted. That time, for the first time, CLG really brings a second player over towards the A bomb site to open up the round, thinking that because Cloud9 had their success there, they would go right back at it. Cloud9 just kind of does a little bit of a misdirection with that B rush, so they get a little bit of an easier passageway to that B bomb site, and it works out really well. 2 rounds for them, they strung them together, and 3 members survive as well.
Cutler again moves his way back over towards long A. Might be a little bit overstretching himself initially, but does decide to fall back after some counter flashbangs that wanted to throw in from the terrace. Might be able to catch Freakazoid here too, but he spots him first. Doesn't matter. Takes him down. However, that rush from Cloud9 through long A does allow him to pick up the trade before Cutler can get into a safe position. Team flash coming out there from Fugly as Hayes has to hold back here for a few extra moments. And ooh, Hayes under a lot of pressure here too. Thankful that flash not only blinds him, but 3 of the other players from C9. But then Skadoodle coming in with a touchdown grenade and also holding a great position here at the bottom of the ramp. Takes down 2 players in a row. CLG boxed out of this site, trying to find a way back in. Still no plant from C9, but they don't even honestly need to go for it. It's another flash. Connects basically head-on onto JDM, but then he peeks and takes down Shroud. So it's even back out, down to a 2 versus 2. Tarek finding Skadoodle, and Skadoodle, I think, connects it through the wall, so it doesn't fully take him down. And then JDM, so casually finishing players up from that balcony angle, takes out nothing. Plenty of time left for this defuse to happen. As CLG pick up their 7th round.
That's such good play from JDM, and maybe small mistakes in the side of C9, but to have the rotation locked behind those choke points and have all the smokes and flashes going in the way they were, JDM gets 3 kills rotating over. He's at 16 and 2 now, by the way. But to have him, in that position with everything coming at him like that, get 3 kills is just fantastic play from JDM. So it might be a little bit of a case of Cloud9 not taking advantage of the smokes and flashbangs they were using, not crossing when they could. He did hit that one shot through the smoke, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But Cloud9 right now has really picked up the pace, and they've caught CLG off guard a couple times with basically just flat-out rushes now to each of the bomb sites. This time they slow things down, but CLG's got to be a little bit nervous, a little bit on their toes about the potential rush and fast-paced play that Cloud9 has brought these past 3 or 4 rounds.
They don't know exactly where it's going to be coming in from either. As CLG, you can see just how spread out the players are. They're going to be ready to rotate into the A-bomb site, and also Cutler, just in case, is just going to be exactly what it looks like it's going to be coming in now from Cloud9. He's ready to fall back inside of the doors if need be, and also is going to be able to hold a very close angle just outside of the mid-connector. He's going to need support through long A, though, if they peek first, and now the flashes come out. Cutler peeks a little bit too soon. It's fully flashbanged, and now an attempt to peek out from that little angle there does not end up working out very well from it all. Shroud shuts it down. Nothing, picking up a second. And again, they make smooth progress on getting onto this A-bomb site. We can see Tarek's going to take the longer round and try to line up a flank with Freak in a perfect spot to catch 8 players coming down outside of balcony. And the situation may be impossible for CLG, and it may just be wiser to go for a save. However, it looks like they're going to go for it regardless.
Yeah, no, Tarek's got to be the one to do something, but you're right. Not only does he take the long route, he takes the longest possible route. And he's really got to try and open something up for his team. He's got to take eyes away from these choke points, but he's not being quick enough. Shroud's even spotted him out, so now Fugly and JDM, they just get slaughtered. And so does Tarek. So that flank doesn't work out whatsoever, just taking a little bit too long to come to fruition. Cloud9's going to get their 3rd. That time it was a slow-paced execute, but once the nades were thrown out, it was a very, very fast, decisive hit. You got to say, too, JDM is doing work for his team. He's at 16 and 3. The nearest member is Hayes and Cutler. They're both at 8 kills each. Tarek with 7. But, I mean, if it's not for JDM's heroics in a couple of these rounds, they're not looking as good as they are. 7 to 3. Still a very fantastic CT side, but finally their economy's been broken, and they're going to be on a save run.
With this, though, they're going to try to get a little bit creative as they stretch their players out towards long A once again. 3 lined up for it, watching all different angles. But Cloud9 now holding back a little bit more this time as they wait for this exact movement to come out. Not actually really paying attention too heavily towards that long A area, but I don't think CLG are going to push outside over here towards the actual mid area. So now some more of the players from C9 start to wrap a little bit closer towards the B bomb site. And it looks like the execution should be coming in towards here. Not very good hopes for CLG to close this out, as also a good nade is connected onto Hayes. He's already down at 33 HP. And now this attempt to line up the players. JDM, it's actually amazing that volley isn't spread. Peeks out though and finds Stewie before being traded out by Shroud. He's going to pick up 2 from that area, eliminating both JDM and Fugly. And now rolling in there, finds third, down just 2 remaining here from CLG. Cutler down at 21. He's got to fall back. And then you've just got 1 left alive on the bomb site itself. That's Tarek. And Cloud9 actually still taking this very slow despite the odds that are stacked up against CLG at this point.
Basically a full execute as well with Molotov, so Cloud9 not taking any chances. Tarek might be able to get 1 here, but actually they're being very patient about taking this bomb, so you could see Skadoodle kind of, reassess the situation. It looked like he wanted to go for a plant and just thought better of it, waited for his teammates to clear the bomb site. So all down to Cutler now. They've got they don't, 7 rounds on the CT side is pretty solid, especially this early on. There's still going to be 4 more rounds for them to play with after this. Yes. Yes, my child.
I was gonna say, I think that they should be over the edge to try and go for a semi-decent force the next round too, if they want to, that is.
Yeah, I would rather see him save, to be honest with you, and just go for that 10-5. Although JDM has plenty of money for an AWP, it's the rest of them that I'm worried about. But either way, yeah, seven rounds. If they can get 2 or 3 more onto this half, that'd be absolutely sick. Obviously, but for a CT side, this is really, really nice stuff. It's these past, they've lost 4 of the last 5 after going on, a 6-round run. So Cloud9 has figured something out that's working, and CLG's got to get back on the board, and they are going to go for that force. So they have JDM with the op. They have 2 FAMASes as well, 2 M4s. It's going to be all about where JDM's going, and he's heading over towards this B bomb site right now. Cutler looks like he's going to posture a little bit in these A-halls, and he's only got 1 flashbang to work with, so that might be a little bit tough. But Cloud9, Shroud's going to throw out some nades towards B. This is a pretty slow round to open up for the T side.
Tarek's going to sit back again. He waits for that broken wall pressure to come in, and then he can peek back out and hopefully catch the players before they realize his own position. Cloud9 is still holding back, though, playing the very, very slow game to actually go for the entry on this site, spreading their players out all across the map in hopes of catching any bits of over-aggression from the CT side. Or from CLG, they've swayed away from this now as they were doing it in some of the earlier rounds, and it was not paying off too well for them. This is basically as soon as they started doing it, they started getting shut down by C9. So they're taking their time. A couple players moving for control of long A right now. The bomb's still sitting just outside of the B bomb site with 2 others grouping behind it. And it looks like it'll be an attempt to try and throw smokes and wherever else they can throw on that A bomb site, hopefully drawing a couple rotations away and then going for the actual execute on B. Actually, no, I think it's going to come in towards... We'll see in a second, but they're still taking it very slow.
Yeah, really slow. And most of their success has been sped up, but look at Stewie. He's actually being very aggressive. It's slow aggression, but he's already out towards the wall. JDM's going to find him, though. So doesn't find the battle he wants. He gets picked off, and now it's a lot that's going to be out of this B hit. Tarek right beneath the broken wall. Shroud knows exactly where he is. Finds him. JDM on the rotate. Got to get here quick because the defense is crumbling. No more kills come out for CLG. JDM does add 1 more tally, and he's got someone lurking over towards the A bomb site. That's going to be Freakazoid in a rare lurk position. And he's going to have to... JDM's going to have to find him out if he wants to save this weapon.
I think JDM knows the lurk is alive, but he doesn't know exactly where it's coming from. So he's attempting to sneak it out. Not exactly sure. I think he has managed to get away from him. So Freak's still checking on that side. I think he still thinks he's over towards balcony or somewhere on the site itself. So he's moved away. He's in a pretty safe position, but at the same time, he also has not spotted Freakazoid as of yet. So this round's definitely going by the way of Cloud9, of course. Now it's just a matter of figuring out if JDM's going to be able to save this op or not.
JDM's like the only one. I think it was like 2 or 3 rounds ago that I mentioned JDM was leading with 16 kills. Cutler and Hayes still have 8. Tarek still has 7. Fugly still has 2. So JDM's the only one who's gotten kills in like 2 or 3 rounds. So that's obviously got to prove it. It's like they've swapped. Remember, Cloud9 only had 6 kills in 6 rounds. Well, now no one from CLG is able to connect any shots. So looking much better for Cloud9 here in the later stages as CLG goes a little bit cold.
Also, Shroud picked up the ball in a pretty big way, too, in these previous couple of rounds. At one point, he was 0-8, I think, before he finally picked up his first kill. And since then, in these previous 2 to 3 rounds specifically, he's been consistently racking up like 2 and 3K in a row, which is specifically on that, like, just on that last round, allowed him to pick up so many entries. However, JDM, still armed with that op. He's doing work, goes to the peak outside of the mid doors, and already dropping the opera from C9, taking down Skadoodle. That's a good start to the round to, at the very least, maybe slow down C9 to the point where they may start making mistakes we saw earlier in the half once again.
Yeah, but drop is exposed. JDM gets a second one. That's the bomb. Now he's got to be careful out towards long. He's going to land that as well. 3 kills for him. He could just be the hero in this round. He's got all 3 kills. The rest of his teammates only have pistols, so JDM, he's smoked off at long, and he's actually got Stewie right on the other side of this, so he's got to be very, very careful how he approaches this round. None of his team is able to salvage a weapon just yet. Stewie's going to jump right through the smoke. So that's a free kill for JDM. Going for the ace, and he's going to get it. The only gun on the team for that whole round, and JDM lands all 5 shots. What a ridiculous performance we're seeing out of him tonight. 8 rounds now for CLG, 5 for Cloud9.
The best part about that from JDM too is there's no panic, there's no these crazy kills where he has to react on a dime, with the exception of maybe that one where Stewie jumps out of the smoke. They're all such controlled. He knows exactly where Cloud9 are playing from. It's perfect awareness from him and just shuts that down perfectly. It's like a ballet with the op there, and it works out great. So now we're up to 8-5. C9 still a good round back from where we were at one point, but CLG with 8 rounds on the CT side. Even if this ends up going 8-7, it's still not a bad half for CLG to start off with.
Yeah, and now look, Cloud9 back to picking up the pace. Cutler was pushed up in A-Hall, so they know exactly what's coming, but it doesn't matter because Hayes just falls so quickly. Now Cutler's got to do something. They're going to start smoking and flashing. He's completely blind. He's caught out in the open. He does get that kill on the freaky zone, but he's not long for this world. Oh, what a shot onto Stewie. So he does get an extra one. Fugly falls, but JDM, the hero, is here. He does get picked off by Skadoodle, though, just as I say it.
The dead hero, as it'll now just be on Tarek, who is sitting just behind his teammate, so there's not really a whole lot of room for Tarek to find his way back into the site. Balcony's going to get re-smoked now. He's got a little bit of an angle to try to jump through, but as you can see by the silhouette, it's nothing sitting just below there. We'll be taking him out pretty quickly if he attempts to go for that, so the much wiser option now. Pick up the op, fall back, try to save that for the last round. Because although JDM has plenty of cast, the rest of his team does not, and that could be another rifle being dropped to someone else.
Yeah, it's going to have to be. So saving this is huge if he's able to get away with it, because JDM has plenty of money, like you said, to buy one. But, I mean, Cutler has 650 and Tarek with 300. It's so much better if he's able to drop an M4 overs to his teammate. And now Cloud9 knows exactly where Tarek is, so how dedicated are they going to be to hunting this gun down? It doesn't matter. There's not enough time for them to get here. As long as he doesn't get spammed, but he's not going to. Drops that over to JDM. So he'll be able to get a rifle in return. This is ridiculous, the disparity we're seeing on the CLG side right now.
It's pretty insane when you think about just how much they were leading, too, and economically, and just how much it's gone away because of the fact that JDM has managed to keep himself alive, either through just outright clutching the round through an ace or other means, whereas the rest of the team has been going down so consistently, and now their money's been thrown into the dumps, whereas with C9, for most of their players, they now have plenty of cash, even at the last round here, just left over. So it's a complete turnaround here, but those people still look to hold on to their lead since this is a pretty big investment. Pretty much everybody except for Cutler has a full buy coming into this round. A little bit less on the utility side of things, but it's enough to hold off. This is direct play that C9 is going for. All 5 players attempting to push Broken Wall. Tarek picking up the first one from that close held angle, but Stewie quick enough finding the trade. Now the entire team dropped down from the actual platform, but stuck behind this wall now as nothing's going to try to lurk around it. There's good smoke coverage so they can force the plant. But look at how low they have Stewie at 21 HP. That does not matter. He goes for the plant. Now Fugly's starting to pick some of these players off. He finds 2, nothing, and Shroud. Skadoodle and Stewie try to hide, but there's no hiding from the retake, as CLG clean things up on the final round of the half, and they'll be ending at 9-6.
Yeah, there's Fugly. Just playing very smart behind the smoke at the bomb site. So he's had a little bit of a rough half with only 2 kills. The 9 rounds is going to be a good half no matter what, though, off the back of JDM. But Fugly there at the end, just able to bide his time, wait for his moment to pounce, and he does find it when the flashbangs ring out, when the smoke clears, nothing gets caught in the open, and he rattles off 3. So nicely done from him to close the half. And Cloud9, that's going to be a tough spot for them to come back from. At times they looked lost in that half, but it was really, I mean, they changed the pace a couple times. They switched up the bomb sites a few, and they did manage to catch CLG a little bit off guard in a stretch there. So, I mean, this T half though out of CLG, if JDM keeps up the pace he's on, if he still comes into the second half with this hot hand, this might just be over. I mean, what a ridiculous first half we just saw out of him.
The problem could be, though, is that if he has to lead the charge for this team and act as the only player that can really pick up frags, like we saw, like we were just talking about with Fugly, that last round was 60% of the kills Fugly got in that entire half. So if he's not able to perform and we don't see him and, I mean, everybody else on the team as well being able to pick up entries, basically anyone except for JDM being able to do that work, we could just see he goes down initially and then the rest of the team just can't do anything else.
Yeah, you're right. If there's no entries coming out, if no one's kind of making gaps in the defense for JDM, that's going to be tough stuff. But either way, we'll see what they come out with. This pistol round is going to be all 5 members from CLG towards this B bomb site. Looks like the majority are going to be heading out towards B platform. They've been spotted out. Tarek takes a little bit of damage. Hayes, meanwhile, coming up towards drop. Same with Cutler. And this is a little bit slow pace. Now they're starting to move forward. That's a good pick, though. Stewie, no need to peek that.
Meanwhile, Freak's having a leisurely stroll through mid, so he's going to be coming in on a late flank. However, when you take a look at how slow-paced CLG are playing this right now, they may actually get a chance to spot him if they have not realized he's there already. You can see they're keeping their eyes peeled to the back of them now, so I think they realize someone's going to try to line up a flank. Where exactly it's coming from, they don't know, and Hayes is actually going to go all the way back through spawn just to check this, so...
Freakazoid's about to be so mad.
I don't know. Did he make any noise to indicate he was back here? No. He's got dinged. Yeah, Hayes takes him down. What gave him away is my question there.
I have no idea. Freakazoid is so angry. That's got to be the most frustrating thing in the world.
So now Skadoodle's going to take up a position just outside of drop room because CLG should be all clear to go. Oh, wait, no, this is going to actually be really bad for C9 because Hayes just moved in there to make some noise to make it feel like it was an A play, and now everybody's out of position here on B as they start to rotate back in. The smokes come in from the T's. They're going to have to watch out for the open more positions here, but still CLG playing slowly. It's working, though, as Cutler picks up another entry, shuts down nothing. Skadoodle also falls. He's just Shroud in the chicken coop, and he's absolutely going to get pummeled by Hayes and the rest of the team. They shut it down, and CLG keep their lead going strong at the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, what a nice pistol round. They get that pick on a Stewie, and then they just basically pull the defense all across the map. I don't know. I'd have to watch that again. I don't know why they, for whatever reason, they seem to know that Freakazoid was pushed up. That's the only reason I can think of for Hayes to go all the way around, unless it was just literally a random casual check and just found him out. But either way, from there, just the pressure that Hayes put on that A bomb site pulled the remaining 2 defenders away. It was only Shroud at that B bomb site when the execute came in, so nicely done from CLG. This round, you can see, I mean, the buy-up from C9. Everyone but Skadoodle invested into this round. Shotgun, Scout, upgraded pistols, and armor. It's only Skadoodle who wants to have that AWP for the first gun round. So CLG, as long as they can manage this one, they're going to be sitting very nice for the rest of the half.
Stewie will play up close to the broken wall with the Nova, hoping to catch some players in a rush play. However, CLG, it doesn't look like they'll be taking this pass, so that gun may end up being completely useless in this round, as the majority of the players are pushing out towards long A. Freak, though, could find quite a few if the 2 from CLG end up grouping up here on this push outside. However, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Fugly's moving down through the dangerous steps now to investigate through mid, and JDM is going to hold the close angle instead, going for the bit of a peek there. Freak spots him, but doesn't connect. Actually, no, he does connect the shot. Brings it down to 74, and is just going to safely smoke that off to hold back the rest of the pressure. But now, we can see Cutler and Hayes doing a little bit of work there. They find an entry through mid, and they find another one, I think, through drop, too. So they don't actually know where this play is going to come from, but pretty good movement from him, but he's flashed out. Perfectly timed there. CLG will prevent disaster. They take him out. And just 2 left alive from Cloud9. Stewie's back over here just outside of the A-bomb site with a shotgun. He's got an upgraded pistol, but there's not a whole lot he's going to be able to do from this angle. And at the same time, Shroud looks like he's already rotating away to save.
Yeah, and CLG just kind of picks him apart again. So really nicely done. They avoid drop as well, which is where that shotgun was. Although Stewie, he hears these footsteps. He might be able to get Fugly, but Fugly's going to clear it. Not to be fooled. And Shroud is in the oldest spot in the book for Counter-Strike pubs, the Tower of Cbble. It's beautiful. Although he's been spotted out now too with no armor. JDM just drops him. So no luck for the Cloud9 members right now. Timing is just not working out in their favor.
Even if he tried to run back inside the tower too, Cutler got up the steps and he was waiting just up on top. So there was no escape for Stewie with the scout there. So CLG just shut it down. No saves for C9. And unfortunately, because they do invest in the previous round, we won't be seeing all that much coming in for the third. Just a couple P250s for the most of those, sticking to their defaults with the P2Ks and Stewie on the USP.
Poor Shroud. Tower's always so much fun. Nade into the A-halls from JDM, and he's going to push forward. He has this MAC-10. Not going to commit to any kind of pressure. Meanwhile, actually, Cutler's postured very well towards drop. But look at this. Now it's JDM finds one. That's going to be nothing, and Freakazoid's going to fall immediately after. 2 nice kills for him, and they're going to push forward. The rest of CLG hasn't committed anywhere on the map. So they're just waiting to see what kind of intel is gathered from these 2 players at the A site. And now JDM has to know there's at least 2 members here. Here's one of doors. Fugly's going to drop him. One on balcony. And Cutler's going to drop him. So really now it just doesn't even matter. Slaughter. So Cloud9's going to be looking forward to this first gun round where Skadoodle will have that AWP. And they got to get on the board quickly. And they got to stabilize that economy very, very early on.
Not even 1 kill will be scored this one. They very easily handle Skadoodle, eliminate him as the final player. Now CLG have double the rounds of C9, and there's a long road to get them back into this game.
Once again, by the way, first 3 rounds, only 1 member of CLG dies. Same as the first half. Just 1 member lost in pistol round, and the 2 anti-ecos for CLG works out perfectly.
And to invest on this round, when we take a look at what C9 are bringing to the table, they've got rifles. Skadoodle's got the AWP with the armor sitting behind it, but look at the utility. They've got smokes to hold off an initial rush if CLG decide to just barrel out over towards Broken Wall here. However, after that, in terms of 8 cheese along with mollies, they don't have a whole lot. Skadoodle tries to push out there, almost connecting a shot, but it's going to end up missing. Thankfully, he's got smoke coverage coming in from his teammates, so they're not going to be able to find a response to this one, but still, good amount of intel gained early on in the round from him.
All 5 members of CLG are here, and actually look at Tarek. Look at this play that he's making. He's coming out through the smokes all the way around, wrapping on the bomb site. He finds everyone in the open, but he can't land any of the kills. Cutler's going to clean 1 up before being traded off, but Stewie and Skadoodle man the fort down just JDM. He's on B platform with his AWP. He's in a 1-on-3, though. A lot of work for him to do. And I don't think he knows Stewie is there. He does now, and he's just holding the edge of the smoke, seeing if Stewie's able to fall back. Now peering into the bomb site where nothing... Spots nothing jumping. Hasn't gone for the shot yet. Waiting for him to peek, but no one's giving him an opportunity to find a pick back into this bomb site.
Those were 2 out of 3 of them are, so he can play to those advantages. Unfortunately, Stewie's going to sneak in there before he can switch back to his primary gun. He'll be eliminated. Stewie getting a free AK out of that play as well. So Cloud9, good job shutting it down. You mentioned Tarek there. Tarek does a good job of getting the position, but it seems he's almost surprised when he finds those 2 players sitting behind the tree rock. So it's not able to take any of those players down, despite even one of the members of Cloud9 being caught mid-gun switch, too. So only ends up finding one of those. They traded back, and then the rest of CLG, with the exception of JDM, don't really seem to connect their shots very well.
Yeah, I mean, that play by Tarek, that's designed literally just to clear out that bomb site. That's the only kill he wanted. If he gets that kill and they're able to swing and get a wide angle onto the site from there, they can take it over pretty easily. It's just the timing doesn't work out in his favor. He peeks and he only has maybe half a second to connect the shot and just can't get it quick enough. And sometimes that's just the life of an entry fragger. That's why it can be such a stressful role, because he did everything right. He got out there without taking damage, without being seen, and he caught him off guard, but just one movement from the counter-terrorist and it really negated all of his presence.
Still a big investment coming in from CLG this time around, however, since they had so much money from their first pistol round victory along with the 2 anti-ecos that followed. They only lost 1 player in that entire sequence of rounds, so there's still a decent amount of cash, at least to make it through this round. This will be their last attempt at it, though, and C9, of course, looking much better off this time. If they could hold it previously, the omens that they might be able to do it a second time, but for CLG, they're playing it much more slowly and much more spread out, as they throw a lot more grenades and at least try to throw a lot more pressure towards the A-bomb site. However, in terms of what the strategy will actually be when they go for the execution, it's probably going to be the same exact thing, with all 5 players moving now over here towards the platform push.
Skadoodle in the chicken coop, and Stewie close up. Here comes the execute, and actually the rest of Cloud9 is going to be caught behind choke points. They're going to have to get out of this. Skadoodle just throwing his flashes in the air to slow things down, and actually it's the same thing. Tarek coming out. Stewie, he knows it's coming, and he just drops him cold. He's playing right underneath the broken wall, and actually he's going to get 1 more, but he does get traded off. 15 seconds left on the clock, and CLG is worried about chicken coop, but Skadoodle has moved out of that position. Not too much left for CLG to do. 10 seconds. They've got to find all these kills. Nothing gets 1. Skadoodle, a rare miss, and he gets legged, but connects the second shot. Now there's nothing left for Cutler to do, so CLG just runs that clock down and gets locked out of the bomb site for far too long. So Cloud9 win the first 2 gun rounds. Now they can start building up a little bit of a bank here for the rest of the half, and they have a double op setup.
Stewie's doing a fantastic job at holding that broken wall position there. He's actually, it seems like specifically in that last round, he actually sort of scared the rest of CLG, made them play that so slowly once they actually tried to push out, that the timer actually ran down way too low and they just weren't able to do anything simply because of his own play.
He has been doing a good job. Skadoodle as well with the movement, with the relocation from Chicken Coop was pretty nice, but I mean it just comes down to CLG not really applying any pressure in these last 2 gun rounds until they want to execute onto the B site, and it's Freakazoid who's going to grab the second AWP over towards the A bomb site. I would imagine that seeing this, CLG is saying, okay, let's attack Freakazoid with the op next round. Let's go towards the A bomb site and see if he can actually handle the pressure.
Before this round concludes, though, Fugly being able to pick up at least a nice one shot there. On to nothing with the Deagle, taking him down. Now Freak looking for some more kills, too. Trying to wait and see exactly where the 3 remaining members of CLG are going to try to go for their entry from. Cutler still has the AK to work with, and look at his position, too. He's lined up a perfect flank. I don't think they have any ideas coming. Actually, take that back. Shroud spots him, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to be able to win that 1 versus 1, breaking the grates. He's trying to throw off his position, but he'll regroup with the rest of his teammates to push in towards this site. Freak is getting hit by that molly, and Fugly's going to come in just to close it out the round, suddenly turning on its heels, as now Tarek's also going to have an op to work with, too. They don't have their primary opper, but is there going to be another flank coming in here? They still have no clue that Stewie's wrapping around back through long A, so he's going to have a huge impact in a second. There's Fugly. He goes down, transfers it onto a second, taking down Tarek. Now it's just Cutler, and he's stuck. They know exactly where he is, so Skadoodle with the peek shuts it out. Cloud9 with a great recovery, and they'll pick up their 9th round.
Yeah, Stewie saves the day. No one from CLG watching the flank whatsoever. The last thing they expected. And he makes it work. They even salvaged the AWP, but if they passed it over to Freak again, like, he hits that first shot, which is pretty nice. It was a small crack, but once he gets put under pressure, once he's standing at a Molotov and he's got to swing out and actually aim someone that he doesn't know exactly where they are on the map, that's when you're going to struggle. That's when the inexperience as an opera comes into play. So CLG, if they don't adjust and go towards the A bomb site and try and hit Freakazoid here, I would be very, very surprised.
And from CLG, it's going to be direct, now pushing out again. They tried this on the first gun round. They're going to try to repeat it again. A little bit slower initially, with the exception of Hayes, just moving out to try and clear the wings. As he's hit by an A, that slows him down pretty nicely. Now down at 58 HP, just at the edge of this smoke, hiding behind the box. The rest of his teammates sitting behind him, but the pop flash rolls in along with the rest of the grenade pressure. Stewie's here, but it actually mollied him out this time, so he's got to hold back. Doesn't connect on his first shot, but again, the flash placement from Cloud9 continues to be great, and Skadoodle rolling there doesn't actually get the knife kill that he was looking for, but nothing is going to be able to finish it off. Denies the bomb plant. Stewie's up close and personal, but Fugly sees him before he can throw that smoke back out there. They take him down. Shroud finding the trade. It's down to a 4 versus 2. And there is just no getting through this B bomb site here, as now it's just JDM. He's in that smoke trying to play with it a little bit, but he's giving himself away, and there's Skadoodle with the knife again. He's trying to fuck him. Can't actually take him down.
Oh, no.
What an awkward end of the round.
Nothing saves him. Nothing's like that character in a movie that, like, feels bad for the person who's getting, like, tortured and like, just executes in long range. He's like, enough of this torture. There's no humanity in this, and he just eliminates him. So good guy, nothing. 3 ops now for the CT side. That tactic by CLG, I'm just so amazed they went back towards the B bomb site. Especially not only that, but they execute a strategy where they don't even try and take the bomb site. They just try and get in and plant in the smoke, and that just smacks of desperation to be at this moment. They're so far up to start this half out, and now things are evening out, and they're losing all their momentum. Fugly does grab nothing. Freakazoid is still over here, and he gets taken out as well. And actually, even coming out of this choke point now, at least they've made it out, but JDM has the op, and he's the one you don't want to have to deal with in this kind of situation. And Nade's going to take him down to 97, doesn't do too much damage, and Stewie's now got a really good positioning on the ramp.
The momentum's been killed, though, as JDM does connect a shot in a Shroud, hits him just on the leg, so he's going to be brought down to 14 HP. Might have actually hit him through some cover, but nonetheless, he keeps himself alive, repositions himself, and now they know exactly where CLG moving in from. Unfortunately, because of the fact that C9 rotated into that A bomb set quickly enough, there's not a whole lot these final 2 players are going to be able to do because they don't have armor sitting behind their weapons. They've got to be very careful, especially Fugly with him only being at 8 HP. Very, very rough odds, and they are being flanked out right now by Stewie. Pulled off an amazing flank in the previous round that wasn't caught, and he might just have another one happening here in the next 5 seconds. I think he spotted, yep, looks like he spotted Fugly, so down he goes. And now it's just JDM, and he's basically in a box right now over here on the top of drop.
Stewie's getting very, very mobile in the mid-round, in the middle portions of these rounds, and he's cut him off that flank the other round that really saved the day, and now this time around. So CLG's got to be very mindful that Stewie's going to start pushing up and everything, and now he's just trying to distract. JDM's been spotted out by Shroud, gets legged on his own, and Skadoodle's going to finish him off. So 12 to 11, the gap has closed. CLG has lost 5 in a row, full losing bonus. JDM's going to be back on the AWP. They have all the utility they could want, but they haven't really had a gun round where they haven't just sent all 5 towards B and sat outside that bomb site and tried to execute something. They haven't even really put any pressure onto the A site. Now they're finally going to go to it, it looks like. 3 members streaming out towards that open area of mid.
This could just be to make some noise, though, and then rotate back in, because they threw the bomb down just outside of the halls. Fugly's going to hope someone gets aggressive, but instead he only gets a molly to block out his own path. Meanwhile, the 2 that are sitting a little bit closer towards B, Tarek's making a lot of noise. don't know if they're just catching someone that gets over and aggressive, jumping up on top of Broken Wall itself, and it's pretty much the same story for Cutler, just making noise, trying to draw attention. Then there's Freak with the wild peek back over towards long A, catches Hazed, and the slow-paced play from CLG ends up biting them in the ass, as now they're down a player.
4-on-5 now. Cloud9 can play it a little bit more passively. You can see Stewie getting boosted up onto the platform. He's going to have an early spot once the smoke clears. It does get refreshed, though, by the team. And yeah, I mean, either you were exactly right, or CLG just gets a little bit intimidated by that pick over towards the A side, because they've all left after making their presence known. Now all 4 members have wrapped over towards this B bomb site, so they don't want anything to do with A. And there's 3 members here, including Stewie, who's pushed up, and they're going to have to molly him out of this position, but I don't think...
They don't know he's there.
Yeah, JDM does have a Molotov, but it doesn't look like he's going to use it here whatsoever, so this might be a couple free kills. Yeah, he swings out, he misses the shots, but it doesn't matter. Nice teamwork with Skadoodle, who grabs both of them. He's done his job, and now it's just Cutler and Fugly.
They try to push out. There's actually a flash that makes Skadoodle miss his first connection. However, nonetheless, Shroud will pick up a first kill on a Cutler. Fugly trades it back out, but then very quickly Freakazoid with secondary op comes in to close things out, and now we'll be tied up at 12 rounds. And specifically talking about this B site, it's just sort of become this unstoppable power combo now, where you have Stewie and Skadoodle. Whenever Stewie ends up failing, because he's the first line of defense, Skadoodle just comes in to clean up whatever was left.
The big thing is, I mean, why haven't they just tried to just hit it as fast as possible? I mean, that's what Cloud9 did to them. Now they've done some slow executes on the B bomb side. That gets shut down. Now they've worked to A slow, and that gets shut down as well. So, speed things up. It seems like their aggression is really being contained nicely by Cloud9. And now even Nothing and Freakazoid are going to double team on this mid ramp. They have a pretty decent stack going on. Freakazoid with that AWP. Nothing is just in the corner. Shot rings out, so maybe trying to bait him through, but no aggression early on from Counterlogic Gaming, just like this entire half set up in a very spread out default, and they haven't been able to take advantage of anything that Cloud9's throwing at them.
Nothing's just going to be a statue outside of the mid connector there. However, most of the players from CLG, and keep in mind again, this is going to be a fake with 2 actual players potentially heading in towards the B-bomb site. The 3 players will try to push out towards long A. They obviously know they're there now with the noise they're making. However, they try to do this like 3 or 4 rounds in a row now to a certain degree. So if C9 are smart, they're going to see this coming, just wait it out, and still keep the majority of their defenses on the B-bomb site, which is what it looks like they're doing. I think Shroud's going to position just outside of drop, because now he can even hear the grenades coming back in towards window. So he knows exactly what's happening, and I think he's going to stick around on B now, where the bomb might actually end up coming in towards.
Well, no one has the bomb at the moment, so 2 members down drop, Tarek and Cutler. They can't pick it up and go back towards A, so there's got to be success, and if they take this site without the bomb, actually someone's going to go get it right now. 30 seconds left, Tarek, he's got to clear to his left. Shroud gets that first kill, Cutler does clean it off, but there's Freakazoid with the op, still doing some work.
Now Cutler has to actually find a way into the site, but the plan has changed. Now that they've retrieved the bomb, they're going towards A instead, because they have a wedge driven between the 4 remaining players on C9, so technically it's a 2-on-3 to at the very least get that bomb down. Nothing shutting it down. Cutler, he arrives at the balcony, takes down Nothing, but then Freak pressing on forward, takes down Fugly, kicks up the trade, and as well the final kill too, shutting out Cutler himself. C9 hold on strong, and I'll take the lead 3 more away from closing out their first match today.
Who would have thought it's going to be Freakazoid with the op just anchoring this A bomb site into this? CLG, they're going to look back on this and say, how did we not get a single gun round on the terror side of Cbble? And then they're going to look at it and say, oh, Freakazoid just destroyed us every time we went towards the A bomb site. We got wrecked by Skadoodle every time we went B. So they're just getting crushed by these op setups, and it's just one rifle with each playing a little bit support, playing very, very well together, and CLG has no answer. Now they're just going to stream through mid with no armor, with the upgraded pistols. Nothing and Freak combined for 3 kills, so it's a 2-on-3 as they come out, and Shroud's going to be here for the cleanup.
Fugly's going to be able to sneak through with at least 1 more kill as Shroud ends up running out of bullets on his M4. Now there's Skadoodle pressing forward. He actually didn't see him. So there's a bit of an awkward exchange there, as neither player ends up fighting each other. Actually,
what is this?
They think he went back down ramp, so he's going to be able to get a free plan out of this at the very least. They still don't know.
Is happening?
They just realized what happened. So that's a big mistake from C9, because now they've given them the free money, whereas previously this round was just going to be a complete wash. Also, he's got the op, and if they just come back out towards drop, he's in a good position to counter it. However, C9 are actually being pretty smart about this one. They counter boosted Stewie, so he should be able to take him down without too much conflict. He's waiting for him, he legs him. However, thankfully for Cloud9, Fugly was the last player left alive, so they're still going to be able to handle this round quite nicely.
That's insane. All right then. Yeah, I mean the plant's not a huge deal because they had the full losing bonus, and they also didn't fully buy into that round, so they were going to have crazy money no matter what. But yeah, either way, CLG now don't have many more rounds to play with. What's crazy is outside of Skadoodle, who probably hasn't died in a while because he had 16K. I mean, they're starting to whittle this money down, and I mean, with 12 rounds, if they can break the economy just once, if they win 2 in a row, that's going to put them in a fantastic position with Cloud9 having to be on an eco, and when CLG is sitting at like 14 rounds, so they've got to come up with something here, and once again, it's back towards the heavy B play. One member outside of A, that's just going to be JDM, and he's just going to play on his own, but he misses the shot. That was the one he wanted. He can't hit it, so no advantage for CLG.
And CLG taking their time, but they've got the smokes thrown in from the CTs too. Stewie back to holding that close-up position. He actually heard one of the players jumping down, but he's been flashed, so he doesn't want to take a risk on peeking out. They still don't know he's there, despite him playing this position in like 3 rounds previously, but they were shut down by him. So there we go, picks up one. He's a little bit delayed on jumping down after his teammate, though, so he is going to be able to find the trade. Even out, now we see nothing, picking up an additional kill, but so did Hayes, and Freak just rolls in through the molly, picks up an additional kill with the op. Nothing, I think, also found 2 kills for himself, so it's just on JDM. Doesn't have the bomb. He's still stuck on top of platform, too. He's got plenty of time to work this. He still has to take down these 2 players, hoping this pop flash will be the dream flash now, but only really connects on a Freak. However, that's enough. He picks him up, but he's too slow to get back behind cover, so nothing's going to be able to jump back out, find the trade, and end the round once again for C9.
Oh, man. So close, yet so far. Now, CLG... definitely no more rounds. This is insane how many rounds they have lost in a row. They've lost 9 now in a row. All right then. So no joy on the gun rounds. Can't find anything to give them success whatsoever. 15-12. Cloud9 has made an incredible comeback off the back of Freakazoid as the secondary opper, anchoring this A bomb site, just shutting things down whenever CLG tried to switch things up. And now it's up to them to find some kind of answer. You know, we still haven't seen a pause.
Nope. And in terms of what we're seeing strategy-wise from CLG, there's like nothing really new happening after all of their attempts to try and push these sites have failed. You're right, there hasn't been a single gun round victory. In fact, I think every single eco round from CLG has actually gone better than every single gun round, just in terms of how many people they managed to take down from C9 and just how close they got to actually winning the round. So this time, it looks like they're going to try for something similar they did previously. They got the bomb closer towards A this time. However, there's players waiting to shut them down in this long A push. There's nothing. Freak actually picked up the first kill, but nothing was there to support in case he missed. The molly gets thrown down. Now they can't really push through this. Nothing gets fully flashed. They could have attempted to do it, but they didn't know the flash connected. And now this entire plan is dead. I don't think they know they have the bomb sitting that far back, but regardless, they can feel much more secure on this A bomb site.
It's a good thing nothing threw that Molotov, because Freak like smoked himself off, so he couldn't support nothing if a second player came through like that. But doesn't matter. Now look at the repositioning that nothing and Freak have. Nothing close up towards mid. That's a nice pop flash. There's good cover though. That forces nothing back. So well done, but he can't hit the second one. Freak out in the open. He gets another kill, and now he's falling back behind the APC. He's going to get a third. No, he can't hit that shot onto Cutler. One more peek for him, but Cutler does take him out. A secondary player at the APC gets dropped by JDM. This is looking good finally for CLG, but they've got to worry about Stewie on the flank one more time.
Currently nobody watching ramp either, so Cutler, he's got his eye peeled on door. He could react to this quickly enough, but Stewie pressing up. He's going to have support coming in through Skadoodle, but it'll be a little bit later. There's Stewie, though. Taking down Cutler. Cutler was not aware of the push coming back in. Skadoodle finding an additional shot back over towards A-Long as he was a new addition to the equation. It's just Fugly hanging out behind the shed, sitting back here with the bomb. He's only got a single flash. He's trying to be sleuthy, sneaking around these players, and so far it's working, but he missed the jump, and I think they just heard him drop down. The defuse is already well on its way, and Stewie just shuts it down. Skadoodle grabs the defuse with no pressure on him at all, and that's going to end it 16-12 with an incredible turnaround from C9.
It's just heartbreaking, isn't it? That's a really rough terrorist half for CLG. That kind of thing can't happen. Especially some of those retakes, the post plants that they lost. That last one, 3-on-2. There was that one round, that one eco round they had where Stewie flanked long, got a couple kills. So yeah, they just get crushed in that second half. What a nice comeback from C9. In the unlikeliest of fashions. Who would have thought that Freakazoid would be opping like that on CT side Cbble?
Big heroes of that last half there, and we just look at the CT stats specifically, was Stewie, of course, came out in a huge way, picked up 13 kills on that half alone, was absolutely unstoppable playing just below that broken wall position. CLG, just I don't think they ever became fully aware that that was his spot to play. I only saw one round where I think it got mollied out and he was forced to play out of position due to that. And not just that, but you've already mentioned it plenty of times. Freakazoid did insanely well there too. He picked up 12 frags on that second half. Nothing, although I don't think we saw as much from him. That was like sort of highlight worthy, but he as well managed to pick up 12 frags in that second half too. So there was some good work from him in terms of turning around his own performance from what we saw in the first half.
Yeah, so that being said, I believe you mentioned the next map was going to be Overpass, and we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have that all prepared for you guys. So stick around, and we'll be back soon.